What's up? Back with another video. Today, let's look at Renaldo Gouws, who has come out with another video and some updates on the Nota case.
Hey, what's up guys, it's Ronaldo. So this video is going to focus on the South African Human Rights Commission failing to adhere to a commitment they made themselves. Now, this is in relation to Nota Baloyi, the individual that last week made some outlandish statements about white people, calling them subhuman, saying that they should be treated like dogs. There are many other examples of what he said in that 90-minute podcast, but it took a literal army to report this to the South African Human Rights Commission, and eventually 90 hours after this podcast was made live, did the South African Human Rights Commission actually come out and address it. And the reason for that is because social media...
They've addressed it. The case is like open. Hey, these are great news, man. We are actually moving with the times. Hey, yo, man, I'm so happy to have seen this kerfuffle as it starts, this wave. I'm like a surfer. I am looking for waves to ride. That's what you have to do when you are on YouTube, you know? You have to ride certain waves, cover certain issues, etc. And hopefully those issues have a life that evolves so that you may evolve with them. And not only for content, but this is an important issue for the South African people, man. An egregious act has happened towards the white people. The Renaldo Gouws is there, so let's get it.
Media put so much pressure on them, and even Elon Musk retweeting this, that eventually I thought made them go, okay, we need to say something. We can't just avoid it like we have avoided.
Remember I told you that Elon Musk may end up retweeting Nota. What will you do now? Will you make more statements? Perhaps you want Elon Musk to one day tweet you. You want to see yourself being tweeted by Elon Musk. You want Elon Musk to insult you and cite you and your video as the evidence of what is happening to white Afrikaners and what is happening to that poor minority over there. Is that what you're chasing? Perhaps you are. This is your moment to shine. What will you do? Escalation of aggression. I spoke pound for pound, going up and up. Now we've got Nota versus Willem. And I said that Nota was looking for this. This was when Willem Petzer first made his video, a response to Nota. That his video was probably one of the first replies or covering of this matter that was done by the people who are aggrieved by this. So we're moving, man. Things are happening. I feel like I've prophesied some things and they've come to pass. Let's keep going.
Andile Mnatama, Busisiwe Mkobane, the EFF MC that said, I'd like to taste the blood of an Afrikaner, I want to Murabur. There are many other examples of blatant racism in 2024 and now in 2025 that they have ignored. Yet now with Nota Baloyi on a podcast saying what he said, and with social media going, what is going on? Eventually they have responded and they've said the following. So they came out to say, media statement, South African Human Rights Commission, SAHRC, notes concerning remarks made by Mr. Nhlamulo Nota Baloyi. And I'm not going to go into detail what they said here. They just, in essence, said that on Monday, the 17th of February, they heard him say some outlandish stuff. The commission confirms that its Gauteng provincial office has opened an own accord investigation on this matter. And then they said that they will give feedback.
Own accord investigation, meaning that they themselves decided to get in this issue. I thought you were going to say the case that you opened, Ronaldo, being the person who feels so painfully against the Human Rights Commission. Aren't you going to tell us that I opened the case and now these developments are because of me? You're saying that this has been on their own accord. You never went. You the savior. You the pinnacle. Ah, man.
And the important thing here is the commission will give an update on the matter tomorrow, 21st of February 2025, before close of business. Now, that was Friday. It's Saturday, the 22nd of February right now, 11 o'clock in the morning, and they have not released any statements at all. So this is a Chapter 9 institution that is funded by taxpayers. And when you make a statement that we are investigating it and we will give feedback, and this is the time and date that we will give feedback by, the fact that they have not done so is actually quite disappointing. And many people have asked them, you know, what's going on? When are you going to release a statement? And there is absolute dead silence from the South African Human Rights Commission. Now, I mean, it's a lot of people have grown accustomed to this. The fact that the double standards of the South African Human Rights Commission has been brought into question more times than you can imagine. The fact that they are very lenient when it comes to racism, when it is black on white. But the moment that they perceive...
They are very lenient to black people.
The moment that they perceive white on black racism, they rush to the courts to go and open cases.
When it's a white person, the case is opened faster.
I have to use myself as an example here. IOL released a snippet of a video that I made that was wildly out of context. And they didn't release a statement like this, saying that they are going to investigate it and then, decide if they're going to open a court case. No. They, within 12 hours of that IOL article being released, was at the courts to file court papers against me. Now, please note that they went to court on a 15-second snippet of a 6-minute video. And once they became aware of the full video, only a month later, that they say, oh, this doesn't change anything. So according to them, a 4% video is the same as that 96% of the context that they missed, that actually said, I didn't mean what I said, it was hyperbole. That doesn't matter to the South African Human Rights Commission. The point here is that there has been 5 instances just in the last 6 to 7 months where black individuals, prominent black individuals, not no names, anonymous individuals on X or on Facebook or on YouTube, no, prominent black individuals that have said racist and hateful things. And the South African Human Rights Commission has not taken action against any of them. Well, there might be action now against Nota Baloyi, but once again, they have failed to give us an update based on their own deadline that they set. So if you don't believe me, you can go and look. As of right now, 11:15 in the morning on Saturday, the 22nd of February, there has been no statement by the South African Human Rights Commission after they clearly said that we will give an update before close of business on the 21st of February. At what point do we ask the obvious question? What is the use of the South African Human Rights Commission? Now, please note, for many years,
the use of the Human Rights Commission is to help you out with the issue that you currently have, and seems like you're winning, but seems like this is not deterring in any way your core objective, the spinal cord here, something which is running right across here, the main agenda. It seems it is the total opposition of this institution, whether good or bad. If they do their job, well, they should do their job by the precedent that they set when they did it to you. They should go straight to the courts, and when they say they'll release a statement, they should release it very quickly. Otherwise, they should be done away with. Ronaldo, are you winning or are you losing here? What is your actual win? Is it the ending of the Human Rights Commission? Would that be your actual win? Would you be happy to see this all fall apart, this institution? Are you eager for justice? I'm not sure if this video is going to have in it going forward your anger towards Nota Baloyi, your speaking earnestly as a person about it. So far, bro, the way that I hear you when you're speaking, you sound like a mascot. You sound like you're campaigning. You sound machinic. You sound mechanical. You're issuing statements. You're not speaking your heart, bro. Perhaps that's not your style, but as this moment presents itself and somebody has hurt you white people like this, it would be a moment to just be tender and speak from the heart. But bro, I'm not hearing any heart from you. I'm just hearing hard line. Hypocrisy here. Let's go. The Human Rights Commission, the Human Rights Commission, the Human Rights Commission. So the Human Rights Commission is getting these slappings because of Nota, who is now being dealt with by the same slap Nota a bit. Are you gonna do that in this video? Are you gonna do that? Are you angry at all by him, or are you more angry at the Human Rights Commission? Just be honest about it. You are more angry at someone. Your mouth has more of the other person's name than the other.
I've been asking this question. I've actually, right before I made it into Parliament, I said that we need to take a hard look at the South African Human Rights Commission and potentially defund it because of the double standards that they apply. We all know that very famous clip that the South African Human Rights Commission came out with, saying that, if a black person utters something, it's different than if a white person utters something. Now, think about that for a second when you consider that this is the South African Human Rights Commission. Human Rights Commission, not Black Rights Commission or White Rights Commission or Colored Rights Commission or Indian Rights Commission. If you don't believe that they actually said that, have a look at this video.
So the Constitutional Court recognizes that our context is not neutral. It recognizes that we have to...
The Constitutional Court recognizes, so the Constitution of South Africa, it seems the Constitution itself recognizes this. I think you should be fighting with the Constitutional Court. Yeah, that's another place that you should be taking your battle, because it seems, yeah, man, you've got a boner for these people. You've got a boner for the law. You ain't got one for Nota. The Constitution what?
Take into account our past of racial exclusion and marginalization. And it takes into account the fact that who utters the word, the perpetrator, makes a difference, and who receives the insult or the hate speech makes a difference. We have no findings in our law yet about what happens when, for example, a black person calls another black person the K-word. So we simply don't know what the cause.
Let me rewind, man. Did she say the Constitution of South Africa or the Constitution of the Human Rights Commission? I don't want to make mistakes here and have people flooding the comments saying I don't listen properly. Let's go back and hear what she actually said.
Or Colored Rights Commission or Indian Rights Commission. If you don't believe that they actually said that. Have a look at this video.
So the Constitutional Court recognizes that our context is not neutral. It recognizes that we have to take into account
The Constitutional Court, yo.
our past of racial exclusion and marginalization. And it takes into account the fact
Yo, let me know in the comments, what do you think about Ronaldo as somebody who deals with details, deals with things line by line, precept upon precept, going through things with a fine comb? Is he a proper expositor? Is he somebody who is able to guide you properly through the facts and have you listen to the things that matter? Or is he somebody who says just listen to this, just listen to this, and then he pays no attention to what was actually said there? Like, how do you feel now that I revealed to you, okay, he says let's listen to the video, let's do it, and then I spot that, oh, the Constitutional Court recognizes that utterances going this way and that are not having the same effect to one another. And so there will be a look, precept upon precept, case by case, we shall assess, but there's no outright exclusion of a certain people for justice. And in this case, I think you will see that Nota will get bit by the teeth. I hope he does. Yeah, I hope if this is a stunt, it's all going to the dogs now. Or maybe he's a sacrificial lamb who is willing to go all the way to the inside of a cell for this. The plot will unfold.
that who utters the word, the perpetrator, makes a difference, and who receives the insult or the hate speech makes a difference. We have no findings in our law yet about what happens when, for example, a black person calls another black person the K-word. So we simply don't know what the court will decide in an instance like that.
So Ronaldo, what do you think? If a black person calls another black person a kafir, should the Human Rights Commission run and open a case? Should the case be opened by the person who says that they've been called a kafir? What do you think? Right across, if I go and I say I'm a Jew and I'm not, and I say somebody said my kosher food is not tasty, yeah, what should happen about that?
But clearly the Constitutional Court is of the view that certain words and expressions will depend on whether it's uttered by a white person or a black person and against a white person or a black person.
Yes, not doctored, not AI, a real video from the South African Human Rights Commission saying that we should treat different race groups differently. Now, isn't that in its own?
I was asking the question, you who are students of Renaldo Gouws, when he's sending you through the subject matter, when he's sending you through the knowledge base, when he's going line by line, does he actually read lines as they are? Does he say they said what they said, or does he say they said something else? When he says listen to the video and they say the Constitutional Court accepts that people are different and offenses are different and it treats people different, when he now pivots from the Constitutional Court and he goes now to hammer the Human Rights Commission for what the Constitutional Court has upheld, how do you feel when a magician is just guiding your brain into the gutter? Don't you feel your brain rotting? Don't you feel forced to believe things as he says them instead of what things actually say? Don't you feel like he's trying to have you read words the way that he interprets them rather than the way that they're actually written? He referred us to the video. Has he referred to anything at all that the video actually said? We may even have seen a totally different video. Perhaps he didn't upload the video that has the proof he wants to show us. That one did nothing for him. It did nothing for him. And so the Human Rights Commission deserves to be attacked for your misunderstandings and your misreadings, and everybody should join you in attacking the Human Rights Commission based on misreading of the scriptures that you brought. Ow, man. As a lecturer, man, is this lecturer lecturing or is this lecturer lying? Aye.
Worthy of being taken to court for saying that you think one race is more pertinent, more important, more idiotic than the other.
More important, more pertinent, more idiotic. From which video, dog? The audience who are watching this, I know you love this guy to death, but yo, man, show me what you saw. Perhaps YouTube has split the evidence. Perhaps my video has these utterances of the Human Rights Commission, and perhaps you who are members have been fed a different stream that has a video where the Human Rights Commission is captured saying these things. Perhaps y'all can share with me the video that you got. Please, yo, if you love him so much, help him out. He's struggling to upload the video that is relevant.
I mean, this is a South African Human Rights Commission that gets millions of rands every single year by you, the taxpayer. They are a Chapter 9 institution. Go and Google it if you don't understand that. That means that they are there, and the funding model is predominantly through taxpayers that fund them to operate. And then if you look at what they're doing, they pretty much have workshops here and there, and then they spend a lot of money on the Equality Court where they take individuals to court for committing hate speech or racism. Now, please tell me if that is a good way of spending money in this country, especially considering that there's a 2% VAT increase on the table, or there was, before the budget speech was never delivered. So think about that. Like, every million rand counts in South Africa. Now, of course, you know, with me, I have a situation with the South African Human Rights Commission, but I've been saying...
Yo, is this guy angry at Nota at all? At all? From what you are perceiving, does he seem angry at all about Nota? Does he seem hungry for the justice that is to come? Does he seem like that to you? Does he seem eager for a resolution? Does he seem intent on getting justice for white people whose feelings have been hurt?
I've been saying this long before they decided to target me. The question you also have to ask yourself is, who decides who are the high-ups within the South African Human Rights Commission? That's right, the ANC decides, because there's a committee and a panel that sits, and then they elect who the individual is that would represent the South African Human Rights.
In the GNU, who decides? Now we have a GNU. Perhaps your information here is pre-election. Now that it's a GNU, does the ANC just call dibs? That's ours first. You ain't touching this, yeah?
Represent the South African Human Rights Commission. So, is it a political appointee? Well, go do your own research. But the point that I'm making is, it's not really serving the interest of South Africa.
You don't have the answer as yet if they are political deployees. People should go and research. Okay, man. Bring the info next time. I think y'all are noticing that generally I have a problem with Ronaldo, the evidence that he brings and how he presents it. Does it speak for him? Does it speak against him? Yo, bro, like own goals here, Brian. I think there's a whole bunch of idiots out there who are saying, yeah, goal, man. Sense, dude. Sense. Yeah? Sense, my bro.
Serving the interest of a narrative that is driven by the ANC government. And that is my humble opinion. You can make up your own mind. But I'm just very disappointed in the fact that all we are asking for is literal equality. We're asking that everybody be treated the same, something that the South African Human Rights Commission constantly talks about, but they are blatantly refusing to treat everybody in this country equally. And it is absurd that you want to take somebody to court for something said 15 years ago, 15 seconds of a snippet that you received, and then when you got the context, you thought, it's too far now, we have to double down.
Yeah, man, you should be let go. You should be let go. You now know that your utterances have had long-lasting impact, like a criminal record, like a record of sexual abuses towards minors. You know in the United States that once you commit that kind of thing, even if you get out of jail after 25 years, when you're looking for a job, when you're going to certain places, you have to declare to people openly that I am a sinner having committed this act. So I think the Human Rights Commission should let you go. You're an undesirable parliament. The people governed. The people were outraged and they applied pressure to your political party there to say, if you want to stay looking like a liberal, moderate party of modest people and you don't want to look like you've got initiates of Confederacy and KKK and skinhead in your midst, because that video you came out with, man, if I can address that seemed like it was an initiation for joining some kind of gang. Yeah, those utterances there, man, I don't know what possessed you, who dared you, who said that you need to commit something in public. It seemed like some kind of initiation, and since then, maybe you are inside the hierarchy of some esoteric group or cult that required you to do that. So a risk couldn't be taken to allow you to stand there and say you're serving in the parliament of the people. So the majority ruled, and I think you're a person who's got a problem with majority rule. You've got a problem with overwhelming pressure, even though it forced your spine to break. The unbelievable force that broke your spine, you still haven't come to terms with it. You still feel like you could have strengthened yourself a bit more. Nah, you didn't survive. So the Human Rights Commission should let you go. You now know that you're walking around as a registered offender, and You can go live where you want to live. You can live in South Africa. You can still go into any shop. There's no sign that says blacks and whites only except Ronaldo. No, you're still a person who can do anything that you want. But you shall not stand and say that you are serving the people, having seemed like you were initiated into something very, 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 very strange and far away from these lands. Something like the Suidlanders, Suidlanders, something like the KKK. Nah, man, you sketchy now.
Instead of doing the right thing and saying, you know what, we received information that wasn't complete, we apologize and we withdraw the case. No, they did not do that. They're doubling down, but when it comes to individuals that are actually committing racism and hate speech in 2024 and 2025, they don't act on that. But hey, they'll act on a video from 15 years ago that was taken out of context. Absolutely absurd, and you need to make your voice vocal about whether or not you think that the South African Human Rights Commission is actually doing what they are supposed to do, which is serving the human rights of everybody in South Africa. And I highly doubt that that's taking place. And that's pretty much all I got to say. If you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing. Please smash that like button. And please share that video far and wide, because that's the only way my message gets out there. Lastly, if you support me and my content, then consider becoming a member to this channel. You can do so by clicking the join button below. And that's pretty much all I got to say. Till later, cheers and peace out.
Peace out, that's Renaldo Gouws. We'll see him next time as the Nota ball gets rolling. I'll see you as well. Subscribe, like, comment, and share the video. I love you all.